I understand how discouraging it can be to put so much effort, money, and so much of yourself into your art to be faced with the sound of crickets when you finally release it. And I also understand the act of creating is the reward itself. But I mean, come on, we want people to like our art just as much as we do. So when we get zero streams, sales, shares, etc., it makes us question whether we should keep going or finally hang up our equipment. And trust me, I've been on the brink of quitting so many times that it pushed my back against the wall to either find an answer or finally quit. And luckily, I found an answer, and today I want to share it with you. The reason nobody supports your art is because it doesn't help them survive and thrive in this world. People choose art that benefits them, and surviving and thriving is one of the biggest benefits for all humans. We're constantly looking for people or things that can help us stay alive, whether it's information, tools, or connections. I mean, every human wants to be safe, healthy, happy, and strong. That's all we focus on every single day. So as a result, we ignore everything else. For example, your art. But don't worry, today we're gonna fix that. And to be clear, if you create from your heart, there's nothing wrong with your art. The problem lies in how you communicate it to the world. There's a problem with your marketing, because the reality is people will never care about your art. They'll only care about what your art does for them. If you want them to pay attention, your art has to solve one of their problems. So if you want more streams, sales, and fans, you have to talk about aspects of your art that will help them survive and thrive. And I know it's kind of confusing to try to figure out how your art can help someone survive. So here's the best way to market your art as a survival tool, so people need it and stop ignoring you. The need to belong is one of the most basic and powerful human needs. People have always lived together in families or tribes. They've created neighborhoods, villages, and communities. And they've operated in gangs, unions, teams, clubs, etc. Because it's easier to survive in a tribe than to go through life alone. Whether it's a family, gang, team, or religion, they all have the same goal: to look out for one another. They provide each other with resources, protection, and connection. And social connection is the key to living healthier and happier lives. So that's where your art can play a role. Art is a powerful tool that brings people together and promotes trust, empathy, and relief from stress. For example, when we dance and sing together, there's a sense of community where everyone moves together with a shared intention and mutual goal. So here are 3 ways you can bring people together with your art. The most important step in bringing people together is being you. So when you tell your story, go to the deep of who you really are. Because by doing so, you attract people who are like you. And people connect with others who are like them. I mean, we've all been through similar experiences, but many people don't know that. So when they see someone courageous enough to express those experiences, they feel an instant connection. For example, anybody who's ever listened to music knows it can be an emotional experience. It can make us laugh, cry, or angry. It can help us sleep, or it can encourage a party. That's why you need to be vulnerable when you create. Because whether you have one fan or thousands of fans, you get to experience these emotional journeys together, which deepens the connection with you and with others with their shared experience of the song. Because it's through art that we can communicate on a deep emotional level with people and realize that we are not the only ones experiencing these emotions. And that's the initial sense of belonging. So now that you've created these connections with individuals, you have to create an environment where they all get to meet each other, because it will strengthen that connection with your community and strengthen that sense of belonging. So what you need to do is straight out of every religion's playbook. Build churches, synagogues, and temples for your people. They need a place where they can connect while supporting you. Another great example are sports teams. They cheer together, they sing together, they have one common goal: to support their team to victory, and they have one common enemy: the opposing team and their fans. And this all takes place in their home stadiums and arenas. I mean, it sounds familiar, right? Sports teams follow that same playbook. But I understand you don't have the money and resources to build churches and stadiums, or you might not have that many supporters right now. So here are some ways you can create an environment for your people to hang out while supporting you. So the best option for people that don't have the money, resources, or local supporters is to use the internet. There are so many free and cheap tools you can use to grow your fan base and broadcast your art. The most popular examples are group chats, for example Discord and Facebook groups. You can even create a small group chat or a broadcast channel on Instagram. The benefit of using the internet is that you could connect with people from all around the world, and eventually they can help share your art everywhere. The next inexpensive option is to open up your house to your supporters. Again, this is how almost every religion started. For example, you can have backyard performances if you're a musician, a dancer, or a poet. You can open up a gallery inside your house if you're a painter, a sculptor, a photographer. Or you can throw a party or a get-together for everyone to connect. Because remember, your main goal is to bring people together. Yes, your art is important, but what's more important is building that sense of belonging for others. Another inexpensive option if you're not comfortable inviting people into your home is to have meetups. Take your guitar and a barbecue grill to the beach. Play them your music, make them some food. Just create a welcoming environment for your supporters. Or you can schedule gigs at a coffee shop, a clothing store, a farmer's market. Let them enjoy your music, your slam poetry, your stand-up comedy. Create an experience where they feel like they belong. And the most expensive option is to create a whole event. Rent out a restaurant, a club, a theater, a block in your neighborhood. Invite other artists to perform and sell their art. By doing so, they bring their own supporters. And every artist at this event can get in front of new audiences. And then you all can share this community and grow it together. So now that you've created connections with individuals and they've made connections with each other, it's time to bring them into your process. For most artists, creating is a private and personal experience. So by letting others into your process, it shows that you trust them. And trust is one of the most important qualities in any relationship. You're able to turn a private and personal experience into an open and collaborative process where everyone plays a role. Everyone involved would then feel like they're a part of something larger than themselves, a community. So here are some examples of how you can invite people into your process. One of the easiest ways to let them play a role is by going live on social media while you're creating and let them give you feedback. Make them feel like they're there with you. Ask them questions, let them ask you questions, make it a conversation. For example, I became a bigger fan of Tory Lanez when he started going live on Instagram. He let his fans choose the beats and the topics of the songs. So when those songs were finally released, I felt special because I saw him create them. Another easy way to let them into your process is by releasing behind-the-scenes footage. Even though they're not there with you or it's not live, they still feel that connection because it's something private and personal. For example, Kenny Beats became one of my favorite producers after I started watching his YouTube series, The Cave. And this was a different behind-the-scenes format because he made it engaging. In addition to making beats and working with the artist, he talks to the camera, so it feels like you're there in the studio with him. So no matter what your art form is, documenting behind the scenes is easy. Take pictures, set up your camera and record your process, and then you can edit them or release them as raw footage. And finally, the best option is always to meet face to face because that's where the strongest connections are built. If you're a photographer, invite them on a walk around the city so you guys can take pictures together. If you're a painter, invite them to the park so they can watch you paint and they can join you too. And if you're a musician, invite them to the studio to hang out while you create a song. I mean, there are so many options to let them into your process. You just have to be creative. Let them design your logo, your cover art. Let them create a dance for one of your songs. Let them choose what you paint. Let them choose the colors. I mean, I can go on, but I'll let you have some fun and brainstorm some ideas. Remember, if you want people to support your art, then it has to help them survive and thrive. Just look at yourself as an example. Why do you buy certain clothes? Why do you support certain artists? Why do you attend certain events? The majority of the time, it's because those things create a sense of belonging for you. For example, a lot of people like Drake. So if you like Drake, you'll be able to fit in. And when you fit in, you'll be able to make friends, find love, and build connections, helping you survive and thrive in this world. I mean, we're all searching for a place to belong in this world. So it's your job as an artist to create that for your people. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to make art or die.